Welcome back to 10 Tenths Podcast. I'm your host, Robert Braille, and I'm sitting in the Kanga Motorsports studio, and I have Adam Nilsson on Zoom because he could not be bothered to come in. But more importantly, I have James Chartres from Kanga Motorsports on Zoom as well, so we can turn this into the Club Racer and GLTC podcast.
Oh, fuck, I'm out now. Son of a bitch.
Because we ain't got no time for time attack. That's the motto. We're sticking with it.
Remember when we used to be the #1 time attack podcast?
No.
That was totally a thing.
Weren't we the number 2?
Totes were.
Weren't we the number 2?
Nah, because James and his buddy, they like never did a show. They do like 6 shows and then they fade out for a year.
Oh, what was that? Time of the Tackers. Yeah.
Yeah, Time of the Tackers.
I remember that.
And now you guys James is dead to me.
You were number 2 Porsche podcast, right? That was the number 2.
We were number 2 Drift podcast.
Yep.
But we don't do any of those things anymore.
I know. Now we're the number 1 club racing podcast.
I don't know that we can claim that, Robbie.
No, it's more offensive if we claim it. That's why I'm doing it.
I mean, that's fair. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm just saying I'm not sure that we can really claim that one.
Yes, we can. We can trademark it even.
We should.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that we shouldn't. Don't get me wrong here. I absolutely think that we should.
We're the number 1 club racing and GLTC podcast. What other ones are there?
None that come to mind. They texted us and was like, man, I listened to that whole show and like was talking to you guys a lot. Like, yeah, man, like he even messaged me privately, like, yeah, man, I get it. Like, but you know, everyone goes through that, you know, and messaged us about, and then like talk like, Robbie, what do you need to like show up for Grid Life Festival this weekend? And then like, well, fuck you too, guys. My bad.
It was funny. It was worth it.
Last 5 minutes. Well, fuck you too. All right. Sorry, Adam.
Waited 2.5 hours and now I get to just shit on you guys.
So, yeah.
But anyways, James, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me back.
It's been way too long, James.
It has been a long time. Yeah. A lot of things have changed. So
good. For the better, I hope.
Yeah. Yeah. For the better.
All right. Well, that's what matters. At least somebody's, changing for the better, right, Robbie?
Yeah, I mean, someone's got to do it. I'm changing for the worse. I mean, it's fine.
Robbie says there's no money in the banana stand, then tells us she's going to a festival instead.
We'll get into that in a little bit.
There must be some money in there.
It's not mine.
Things aren't really changing that much for him.
Are you still in California, James?
Yeah, we just moved further south, so we're in like Santa Barbara County area kind of thing. So we moved just full-time remote working, and then we moved down to be closer to family. So my wife's family's all live down here, so it's kind of nice. Closer to the beach and close to family, so it's nice in that sense. A little bit less packed in the Bay Area, so.
Yeah, I'm so jealous that you can work full-time from home.
Yeah, I mean, it has its ups and downs too,
Right. Yeah, I'm sure, but it's gotta be so good.
Yeah, it's nice. It's worked out really well. Just in the type of work that I'm doing, it's worked out. So I'm glad for it. But it means I can't do other types of work, So
did you have like a terrible commute like I do when you were not working from home?
Yeah, it was like 16 miles and it'd take me maybe an hour to an hour and a half.
Seriously?
Yeah. So.
Have you ever driven in California?
That's completely unnecessary. That's insane. I drive 47 miles in 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm mad if I have to drop my cruise more than twice.
Yeah, you get real good with the clutch foot because you're just stop go.
Oh my God, I didn't realize that's insane. Why do people do that to themselves?
What I never understood is the people that because I was in San Diego and drove up to Los Angeles and it took me like the whole damn day.
Yeah,
because it's like you look at the map, you're like, oh, it's not that far, and then you get out there like it's bumper to bumper in traffic in San Diego, and it's bumper to bumper all the way into Los Angeles for the whole like 5 hours you're there.
Yeah, don't miss the 4 or 5 lane bumper to bumper. Don't miss that at all.
So, like, when you're talking to a person about going to a place, do you speak in terms of time or distance?
So if you can time it right during the day, like if you can, you need to go off to a site or see somebody or something, you can do it during the middle of the day. It's all fine. It's just like peak hour for, anytime between like 3 and 7 going home is terrible. And like anytime in the morning between like 6:30 and, 9:30, 10. So I used to leave like, it was exponential. If I left like 5 minutes later, it would take me 15 minutes more, kind of.
Yeah. So, I've noticed that even in my commute, like if I'm 5 or 10 minutes late out the door, it's 15 minutes late to work.
Yeah. So like, yeah, I used to go in early and then try and leave earlier. So like, try and get into work at 7 and then work through and then go home. Going home was bad no matter what, but at least I could control the morning. But yeah, don't have to do that anymore. So.
Not that that's car related, but that's crazy to me.
Well, it gave me a lot of time to listen to podcasts, though.
I suppose.
I used to listen to all
Silver
of the podcasts. I don't do that as much anymore. It's only if I'm in the garage that I'm listening to podcasts. So.
Yeah, I remember because we were messaging back and forth, and you made a comment. You're like, "Yeah, I'm not caught up." I was like, "Really, you?" So you're always caught up.
I used to have like 2.5 hours a day to catch up.
Yeah, I had it rough.
Yeah, definitely.
That's crazy.
Now it's nice, Yeah, it's like a few feet. Just go in the other room. So.
That'd be tough too, though. I don't know. I don't know if I could do it. Like I feel like I'd have a hard time staying motivated and focused.
Yeah, I mean, my day's cut up. So like with my daughter, we're split in the day, and then I have to catch up in the evening after work. So my day's a little disjointed as such. I get to work either in the morning or the afternoon, and then when they're napping, and then during the day I'm on a call and she'll burst in running into the room saying hi, like so all my coworkers know who she is.
Yeah I've gotten plenty of FaceTime calls. Well, my coworkers all know who my kid is too, so
just
anyway,
weird times for everybody, I think.
So race car stuff.
Yeah. Before we jump into it,
where do we want to start?
Yeah. Before we jump into it, let's remind everybody to head over to techbosscompany.com. That's TEKBOSS company.com for all of your electric ATV and scooter and pit bike needs. Use the code, 10/10ths podcast. You get 10% off, which is a really good deal considering how they're really not that expensive to begin with. I think we had a bunch at Heartland and everyone really seemed to like it. We actually sold a few while we were there. And I think what do we have? The 36 volt? No,
I don't remember. I think so. I think it's a 600 watt scooter.
Yeah. It's gotta be the Mad.
I'll try to pull it up, but my computer's so bad. If I do too many things, it won't work.
Yeah, it was the Mad Air 36 volt.
Yes.
Scooter, and it was perfect.
Yeah,
just zipper.
No, I think that's the right amount of speed and battery life, and like it gets up and down hills nicely enough, and it'll go through grass and stuff like that. It's the right amount of everything for the track.
Yeah,
and you hook a like tire trailer up to it so you can run the tires over. And
it's not quite that strong.
I don't think. Yeah, you might need Death Machine for that.
That's the 2,000 watt one.
Well, we had the 1,600 watt one.
We didn't have the 2,000. I thought we had the 2,000.
No, so we had the 1,600 watt one, which is apparently actually worse because the 2,000 watt one is dual motor.
Yep.
And so it's only putting 1,000 watts to each wheel, whereas the 1,600 watt one puts all of it to the one wheel, and that's why it's a wheelie machine, and that's why it's the Death Machine. It's actually not as fast, but it's more dangerous than the 2,000. And I shouldn't say it's dangerous. Once you get used to it, it's great.
Yeah,
it's fun. It's fast. I shouldn't say it's dangerous because it's like, oh, I don't want that anymore. It's a ton of fun. Don't get me wrong.
So we gave it to
yeah.
Dalton's got that one.
Yeah.
Because that's the person that needs it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's the guy you want that one.
Yeah, the guy with 16 stitches in his thumb.
Hey,
I don't even think we talked about on the show, but yeah, he tried to rip his thumb off with the Camaro.
Yeah, it happens.
Oh God.
Hey, so sometimes it happens when you get hurt in the garage. Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's a perfectly reasonable thing for any sane person to do.
Yeah, it just happens. We'll talk about it in a little bit.
Yeah, he was moving the engine and transmission or something. I don't know exactly what he was doing. I know he had it out of the car already, so I don't know if he's just moving it, but it slid off the jack and his thumb.
That's right. James doesn't know.
Yeah, we didn't talk about this at all. I don't remember if it was his left thumb or his right thumb, one or the other, got smashed between the sway bar and the part of the jack that comes up. And so then that's at an angle, right? And so then the engine slid down that with his thumb pinched between it, and it basically just tore the bottom of his thumb off. And split his thumb long ways.
Like a hot dog, man. Like it was.
Yeah.
Like the only thing holding the meat together to from the pad of his thumb to his fingernail, that was just hanging there, and the only thing holding it together was his fingernail. So he sends us a video in our group chat, and it's just his thumb flapping in the wind, squirting blood.
Yeah. So they had to it severed the artery in his thumb, so they had to stitch the artery shut, and then stitch through his thumbnail to put the pad back together. And I think he ended up with 16 stitches or something like that.
But that didn't.
His first thought was, "I got to put this on group chat," not oh, my thumb.
No, he was already in the
ER by the time we were getting the videos. But this was while we were recording 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
So, I guess it's been 3 weeks ago, 2 shows ago, because fuck the fans. But it wasn't the show with Dusty. It was the one before that. He literally did it while we were recording. So Robbie and I, we shut the show down, and I pulled my phone up. I'm like, oh my God, what happened? So yeah, it was a deal. And then he was at
Heartland
Park with his thumb stitched back together. It was his left thumb, because I remember now, I was convinced that one of those times he was going to go into a corner too hot, try to catch it, and the steering wheel was going to spin and catch his thumb and just rip the stitches right out.
We had a bet going on how long it would last.
Yeah. I had the route from the racetrack to the ER saved in my phone on Google Maps so that I could get there quickly.
But luckily we didn't.
We're ready to rock.
Yeah, we didn't need to actually use it, but I was convinced we were.
I can't believe it.
I'm shocked that he made it. I'm shocked that he made it through the weekend, especially the way he was driving on that Uber scoot.
Yeah, if he'd have wiped out on that scooter, he'd have for sure ripped that thumb apart.
It'd be gone.
So, never a dull moment, huh?
No. Yeah, you guys. Yeah, it sounds like every time you guys go to the track, there's a good story coming out. So.
Yeah, festival's coming up here, and Tommy is going to be at festival again.
Oh boy!
Along with all the Festiva guys, and there's some plans in the works for things that I'm not totally thrilled about.
This is the first I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's because you're not in that chat, and it's probably better that way.
I'm not mad about that, actually.
Maybe leave room for me in your trailer this weekend or that weekend, Ruffy.
Oh no, I'm gonna park far away in the quiet zone.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm getting
at.
But hey, man, people just get hurt in the garage sometimes. I can't really fault him because sometimes it just happens, as you can see on my forehead.
At least he had friends there, Robbie.
Yeah.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
Oh,
because one of his buddies had to pick the engine off. It would have been just him and Sam. He'd probably still be under there.
I thought it was just him and Sam. I forgot about that.
No, one of his buddies was there.
Well, luckily Jess was here today, but it was fine. But no, I was fixing the exhaust because apparently I need to have the car ready a lot sooner than I thought. And then I was finishing it, and I had the wrench right in front of me because, of course, it's on the lift. And then it slipped off, and then I slapped my forehead with the ratchet. And it sliced it good and proper. So I come into the house, and I didn't really think anything of it. I was like, I was so mad and annoyed with myself that I slapped myself in the forehead with the ratchet. So I go up and like hold my head with my hand, and then all of a sudden I bring my hand down. It's like covered in blood. I'm like, oh man, made this one count. So I go in the house and I wipe it off with a paper towel, and I look in the mirror and it's like this gash. I'm like squeezing it, opening and closing. I'm like, oh, that's properly deep. So then Jess goes into like nurse mode. So she's like, oh, we need to go do this. Like you could get, I don't know, some like infection and die or whatever. And I was like, it's fine. It's not like we don't need to do that. She's like, no, seriously, someone had a splinter and then like they died. And I'm like, it's fine. Like I'll just pour some dirt in it. We'll be okay. So she went and got peroxide and irrigated the whole thing. And then she had like these butterfly stitches that she thought I needed, but like she got like the really big ones that are made for like when you like cut your leg open. So like she tried to put them on, but it was like all the way across my nose and like all the way up my forehead. I was like, Jess, this isn't doing anything. It's just this gigantic Band-Aid at that point. I'm like, this is worthless. But it's you got a scar now, so it's cool. Or I will have a scar once it heals.
Chicks dig scars, probably.
Chicks dig scars. And then like, well, now every time I like move my eyebrows, it like opens it back up so I can feel it like oozing down my eyebrow. So that's not fun. But
did you tell Scott Robertson?
He'll listen to the show and then no.
That's fair.
I might have to like take
fair.
a picture of it and like send it to him because I know how much he likes to hear these types of stories.
Yeah, exactly. This is gonna be my new favorite thing is to like pick a random injury I have every time I see Scott Robertson and then tell him about it just to see him uncomfortably squirm and hold whatever body part it is I'm telling him I damaged.
I'd kind of forgotten that I guess obviously we don't talk about it regularly, but like someone that hasn't listened to the podcast maybe since the beginning. I don't know if we even talked about it on the podcast, but like
I don't know if we really have
my major leg injury. So on the track walking podcast I was on, we talked about it in depth as to how it happened and made everybody uncomfortable. It was great.
It was not that bad.
So maybe we'll just have to make that a running theme.
Everyone go and listen to Robbie's episode on the Track Walking podcast. If you haven't listened to them, it's Robbie's first podcast ever done without me and or Michael.
Yep.
Which is kind of a big deal.
And the title is called I Hate Robbie Veer, which seems to be a theme.
Me too.
But yeah, head's fine. Z's fine. Dalton's thumb, I think, is fine. I think he has feeling back in it. So I think then
he has no stitches in it.
Yeah, and then because I got hurt in the shop today, I felt that it was proper to wear the Iowa Man racing shirt because that's just what you do. Like you get hurt.
Yeah.
Now we all wear our shirts.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Everybody, techbosscompany.com. Use the code 1010podcast.
That was the longest advert.
Whoops.
No, that's how it's supposed to go. It's good.
Yeah.
We bring it back around. Now we're back in the regular show. We're opening it up, presented by Factory Fabrication.
We're not doing that, though, Robbie.
Yeah, but I mentioned it. Factory Fabrication.
I'm bad at this.
No, I'm terrible
at
at
this or not. I'm bad at this, so I don't have an opener this week.
That's fine. This opener is presented by Factory Fabrication. Use the code 10tenths, and Booney will be confused.
I think you're going to... I don't know that there is a code, right?
There's not a code.
There's definitely not a code.
Is there a code for Tech Plus, too? Like,
yes, there is a code for them.
All other codes are real, but if you go to Factory Fabrication and you're talking to Booney and you're like, okay, I want to buy this furniture, and you say, the podcast sent me, I want to use the code. He'll be very confused. But, he listens to the show, so he probably won't be as confused. He'll be annoyed, and that's even better.
Yeah, it's like Booney's stuff isn't really the stuff you go on the website and you just type in, I want one giant railing from my house, right?
Well, he sells
Custom furniture and stuff.
Yeah,
or
like metal furniture and stuff like that you can buy.
He does have a store. Like, you can order some stuff.
Yeah.
Like these benches and tables and stuff.
Skate rails,
yeah. Yeah, I don't.
But yeah,
the code doesn't
he's
work.
Definitely going to be annoyed if people start sending him, "Hey, man, so I was trying to use this code from this podcast I heard, but it doesn't seem to work. I don't know if there's something wrong with the website or
there's literally there's not even an option to put
enter the code.
I can't find where to put it. Can you help me out or what, man?"
It adds a surcharge, right? That code.
Yeah,
it's a 10% surcharge.
It's
for sure.
Yeah, just mention Adam and then just watch your beer bill go sky high. Anyways, fact.
Hey man, we've been chumming out talking about LMP1 Audi stuff. So
Wow.
we're besties. Yeah,
That's nice.
we're turning a new page, Robbie.
I give it 3 conversations, max. Then it's right back around to hashtag I hate Adam.
Why are you so negative?
Because I know both of you very well.
I don't appreciate that at all.
I think you both enjoy the hatred between each other more than you enjoy the friendship.
No way, dude. Like Booney and I are. Don't get it wrong. Like Booney and I are friends.
Of course.
I mean, for all the people out there, like Booney and I get along. It's just funny to pretend like we hate each other.
Exactly. You'll go right back to it.
That's probably true.
Anyways, factfabrication.com. James, what have you been up to? Like, it's been a long time. Because I think because you weren't on at all in 2020. I don't think.
I don't think that's true.
Was it like early in the year?
Yeah, I think he came on shortly after we moved to your house.
So like January, February time.
But like before COVID hit.
Yeah. So like January, February, maybe March.
Yeah,
maybe. Yeah, it was definitely before COVID, so it might have been. Maybe I did an episode then. I don't even know.
I feel like you came on at some point when we were first trying to figure out what the newest version of the podcast was going to be.
Oh, yeah. Post Michael, right?
Yes.
I think I did do an episode post Michael.
Which apparently he's married now. So congratulations
to Michael.
Congrats.
Yes.
Congrats.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I feel like you were on at least once since then.
So it's probably been almost a year and a half, though.
Yeah, it's easy been a year.
Did I have my daughter then? Did I have my kid last time I was on? I don't know.
I don't know. How old is your daughter?
How old is she?
She was born December 2019. So.
Oh, then yeah. It's for sure been after that.
Yeah, she was real little, but yeah.
Yeah, so she's coming up on 2. So yeah. Okay. Yeah, maybe I did. I don't know. The fans will let us know.
Oh yeah. There's an episode out there.
Year and a half.
Yeah. So yeah, lots have changed. We talked about I moved. So that was an ordeal, moving for a car guy really sucks, right?
Super duper sucks.
Because I think we spent all this time packing, and my wife packed the house, and I was still packing the garage. Right? And it's not light stuff, it's like engine blocks, an extra differential,
all body panels,
fragile plastic body panels. How do you transport that stuff?
Yeah, without it getting broken.
Yeah,
toolboxes are obnoxious.
Yeah, I had like a roller, so we ended up getting a moving service just because it was too far for us to do the whole U-Haul thing ourselves with a 1-year-old. So yeah, they rolled that on. And then, I had an engine on an engine stand, and so I had to roll that. I think I took the block because I didn't want them to ruin the block, and I loaded it in my car. So I took the important stuff, the block, the head, some of the fragile tools, like, the micrometers and stuff with me.
Smart.
But everything else went. But, the guys picked it up, they were moving, and they're like, whoa, what's in here? It's like, well, it's a differential, I
got 6 more over here, so just grab those while you're at it.
Yeah. Not easy to find boxes that fit cylinder heads either. It's either giant, massive box, and then you're like, well, I don't really want to put 2 cylinder heads in there because you won't be able to lift them,
Yep.
So it's so yeah, bunch of moving and stuff, and then they won't transport hazardous material, right? So
oh yeah,
everything I have, all the fluids and chemicals and everything, we had to drive those separately. So so yeah.
So the new place, sweet garage, or so did you get an upgrade?
That was the requirement, was a 2-car garage, so I could work in the garage. And then we locked in that it has the roof they've put storage up the top, and then it had some storage shelves, so a lot of stuff got to be stored away. So that's handy. The old garage had a sink though, which is like super handy if you've ever had a garage with a sink for like cleaning stuff and things like that.
Yeah.
Or not walking your dirty self back into the house, you know?
Yeah.
But this one doesn't have a sink. So, and then this one, the laundry is in the garage too. So I lost a little real estate there, but it's okay. So, you know, it worked out. It's cool. The garage is kind of like off away from the bedroom too, which is kind of handy. You know, so you can't hear it as well when I'm working on stuff. So that's kind of good. And then, but yeah. The problem is, you know, packing everything up and then unpacking everything, you lose a couple months. So like nothing happened for a couple months, you know, and then, you know, trying to get back into it. You're like, where did I put this tool? Or like, I can no longer find these things, you know? And so I buy something I already own because I need it. And then I'll find it like after it arrives that I've bought it. So.
Yeah, we just moved my dad. I mean, it's been about over a year now, but like, you know, the place he bought like had a building and all that stuff, but we had to put up the inside walls and we had to put up a ceiling inside and we had to insulate it. And it's like, oh my God, what a hassle. You know, you can't, there's always like all that stuff you got to do. And that has to be done like in the midst of trying to move at the same time. He ended up just having to get a storage unit for a while and just stash stuff in there until the shop was ready to be moved into. So yeah, moving is such a hassle especially for a car guy.
Yeah. And we're just renting right now until we work out what we're doing. And then, so like, I didn't do any of that prep stuff. You know, I would have done the floor and stuff with that epoxy and things, but I didn't do that. But yeah, the garage was basically storage while we were unpacking the rest of the house. So the car had to sit outside for a little bit and stuff. So, but you know, it's all sorted now. So
the race car or the daily?
So the race car is still up in the shop up north.
Oh, okay.
I haven't worked out how to sort of that, but the Project Z is in the garage. So the 240 is in there. And then the everyday car just sits, sadly. The daily doesn't really get driven very much now.
Oh yeah, so. I suppose.
Well, I'm not commuting, you know. So
yeah, that would be nice.
Sits there, so I mostly just take it out once in a while to make sure it's still working, you know. But yeah, no, lots of changes. So still trying to work everything out. Not sure how permanent or long term this is going to be, you know. But for now, works like letting me work remote full time, so I'm happy about that. So.
Yeah,
cool.
So that's super nice because it gives you that flexibility, like to just say, you know what, maybe we want to go over here and do this, and you're not tied down in a way that you have to really think about it if you decide to go somewhere or do anything.
Yeah. I mean, where we were so in 2020, you know, crazy year for everybody, but like all the forest fires and stuff, and like the smoke, and there's people everywhere in the parks and stuff. We really couldn't take our daughter out much. And so complete change of space here where we can, you know, take her out to parks and less people are here and there's not the smoke and the problems, you know, knock on wood right now for us. So we're, you know, it's a little bit nicer for her quality of life wise to get out and about. So happy about that.
Yeah, definitely.
Are you closer to tracks?
So, no.
Damn it.
The great compromise, you know, was a lot of the racing stuff got kind of put on hold. Well, I mean, my daughter came, so stuff was going to get put on hold for a little while anyway. We knew that.
Right.
Yep. And then COVID hit. And then, so now we're working at home and with our daughters, so we're like full-time parents, full-time working, you know, it doesn't leave us a lot of time. So racing got put on hold. And then with COVID, our sanctioning organization stopped letting people into tracks. So like, even if I went racing, my family couldn't come with me. So I'd just be gone by myself and my wife would have to look after the kid all weekend long kind of thing, which is fine for a little bit, but kind of hard to do. It's a lot better if they can come with us. So
absolutely. Yeah.
So we're, you know, Willow Springs, Button Willow's kind of closer to us down here. Laguna is a little bit further than it used to be. And then Sonoma and Thunder Hill a lot further now. So like we're kind of, an hour and a half north of LA. So, but we're on the coast, so it's kind of not an easy way to get over to tracks, but it's okay. I mean, we did go up to Laguna and race there, so that was a lot of fun. So I'm hoping to get out and do some more racing, but we're still just trying to work out how we're going to do all this with the kid, and everything keeps changing. We're going to put the kid in daycare, and then a couple of daycares got shut down because of COVID. And so it's like, all right, what do you do? Do you put her in daycare? Do you not put her in daycare? It's kind of thing. So,
yeah. We live in the world where our closest track is like 4 hours, 5 hours away.
Yeah. So I used to be like, 3 amazing West Coast tracks easily within 4 hours, so.
Yeah, we don't feel sorry for you, in the slightest.
You have to drive 10 hours? Oh, man. What's that like?
That's just like a normal tow.
Yeah, 10 hours to Gingerman? Yup.
Yeah, can I take a 3-day race weekend's a 5 days gone because you got to commute there and back again.
Yeah. We've got elevation here. I don't know if you guys have elevation changes or
we don't believe in that.
No,
we don't believe in that at all.
Keep it
That's
flat.
just it's not fair to the people who are afraid of heights, and we're just trying to be all inclusive here. We just keep it nice and flat, nice and easy.
Those people that get sick on roller coasters or whatever.
Yeah, we don't want that. It's not it's not the inviting atmosphere we're trying to create here in Iowa.
Yeah.
So
you don't want those apexes sneaking up on you,
No, blind corners. Who likes that?
That's scary.
So,
one day I got to make a trip out there and go to some of you guys' tracks and actually meet you in person a little bit more.
Yeah, that would be wild. That's true. We've never met you, have we?
Yeah, so you're one of the few people that we're regularly involved with on the show that that we've never actually met.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't think about that, but yeah, because at this point we've met Dusty, quite a few times. And you're kind of like one of the other OGs we haven't met.
Yeah, I mean, there's a big difference between the West Coast and the Central, right?
Yeah.
So the closest we've ever gotten is PPIR.
Yeah, and then I didn't make it out there. That's what we got to do. I got to make it out there one year, and then we can all meet up there.
Come hang out for a festival.
Yeah, I think that's
probably a longer drive for you than me out there. So
that's just 14, 15 hours. I mean, that's just a normal drive.
Oh no, dude,
it's just a weekend.
It's like 11, maybe 12.
Yeah,
it's really not that.
It's just a weekend.
A quick jaunt, frankly.
It's gotta suck though. Like for me, like when you got to push the car under the trailer and it's all banged up, and you got to do a bunch of work on it afterwards. That 4-hour drive sucks, but like 12 hours or whatever has to really suck.
Oh yeah, because you're thinking about everything you have to fix, how bad it really is. Then you're playing math in your head of what's going to cost, and then you're so tired by the time you get home, you just park it and you leave it, like just the truck, trailer, everything. It's just outside. I don't even care.
That's tomorrow's problem.
It can stay there, or not be. I don't care. I don't. By the time I get home, I don't care if it's there or not. I'm going to bed. If it's there in the morning, great.
Word.
It's future Robbie's problem.
Yep, I'm over it. By the time when I get home at midnight on Sunday night and I gotta be at work or get up for work at 5:30, I don't care about anything anymore. I'm done with racing. I'm sick of it.
Yeah. So I've never had to do that. But.
Yeah, Hallett on a 2-day event where we have a 3:00 session. That sucks. Because
so you guys finish early or not? Or you run till 5 or
we try to get out early on Sundays, because especially for I'll just use Hallett as an example, because a lot of people will drive down from like the Kansas City area or even up in the Des Moines area. So it's a 10-hour trip in all reality, and so I think if you can get people out of there as soon as possible, usually we're out of there by 2-3 at the latest. Or if things aren't going well, I'll skip the last session and say, well, it's been expensive enough. I'm going home. I'd like to be home before midnight.
Yeah, it's always that last race where everyone just throws caution to the wind, right? Like,
yep.
Like, no consequences really. I can fix it later,
Yeah.
When we go to Grid Life events, it's always like, Well, I'm glad that my friends made it on the podium, but like if they didn't, we could have left 2 hours ago. So like
they're just selfish too.
Hey, weren't you on the podium? Did I see you on the podium?
I snuck my way into the podium, yes. And Dusty's not getting that trophy until he comes and gets it in person.
Official stand-in,
Yeah.
That's your GLTC title, right? Like you're the official stand-in.
It was track mod. It was a time attack spot. So
we don't need to talk about that. This is the GLTC and Club Racing podcast.
No, Robbie, this is not. It's not. I refuse to allow that to happen. I'm okay with slipping from the number one time attack spot. That I'm fine with. But we will not turn this into a no time attack podcast. I'm not letting that happen.
No drift, no time attack.
We've already kicked out drift. We've already kicked out autocross, basically.
Oh, yeah, man.
I'm not leaving time attack.
We've moved on, man. We've moved on.
You've moved on, and that's fine. And I respect that. I don't really respect that.
No,
but that's your deal. It's your choice, and I can't stop you from doing that.
That's fair.
But I'm not gonna.
I just can't wait till we're the endurance podcast, man. 4-hour shows for 8-hour races.
I really enjoyed doing the endurance thing, like the whole radio crew chief life.
Yeah.
I enjoyed doing that a lot. So I don't know how I'm going to ever make it to all your races if I keep doing the stuff I'm doing with Grid Life, but
I don't know.
I might make it to one or two of them.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea what I'm doing next year or where I'm going. We'll figure it out. That's future Robbie's problem.
We're not far off of having to be jobless bums. We need to figure out how to make this.
I don't know, man, because like I keep saying like this is my plan, and then like that changes like the next day. So
yeah,
I'm just winging it. See what I can make it to.
Yeah, you're telling me.
So apparently I'm going to a festival, Midwest Festival, and I'm driving. So that changed.
Yeah, you were going you were just going to be like,
no.
You know what? I'm going to bring the camera and do the media thing.
First off,
done that in a while.
First off, I wasn't going to show up at all.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, we're going to do Heartland. Then I'm going to take, I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to go golfing, and I'm going to do my fantasy football draft. And then I'm just going to slowly get the Z ready for Road America because it doesn't need a whole lot. I'm like, we'll order the parts, we'll get it fixed, we'll take our time. We got weekends, we'll take care of it. And then Jeremy Boyson was like, hey, man, you want to go to festival? Because I can't make it. I was like, well, I'd hate to see your ticket go to waste. So now I got this weekend to get the car ready.
You're just doing him a favor, right?
Yeah,
just making sure it doesn't waste the ticket.
Yeah, I don't want to just throw a ticket away. So I'd feel bad, I'm doing this for him, really.
I think I was texting you or something, or messaging you, and it's like, hey, so when's your next event? And you're like, well, I'm not really going to be driving, but I might go to this. And then like, I don't know, like 30 minutes later, never mind. I'm driving. Got to get the car ready. Talk to you soon.
Yep, that's exactly how it went.
Thankfully, I don't think you have a lot to do to get the car ready.
No, the biggest thing was that I wanted to replace the wheel hubs with the 370Z hubs so I could get rid of that pad knockback issue. So those are ordered, but apparently they're not shipping until next Tuesday or Wednesday, which is really annoying because they're supposed to be air quote in stock. So
that's going to be.
They're not getting done.
Is that going to be a trackside thing?
No, I'm not swapping the hubs. Well, I guess if they show up, I'll bring them. We can see how it goes. But what I'll do is I'm going to do so I fixed the exhaust. As you can see on my forehead, I got that done. So that, it's drivable and ready to go. I just need to this weekend put in that Willwood residual pressure valve that keeps 2 psi on the front brakes, so that it prevents that knockback. So I'm going to install that this weekend because that's the $20 fix, and that's supposed to fix it. So that should at least get me through the weekend without having to constantly fight to get the pads back where they're supposed to be. So you just gotta.
I think you got to make sure they don't drag.
Yeah,
on that.
Yep. Yeah, they offer 2 psi, 4 psi, and 10 psi. So apparently the 2 psi works really well on the 350Z.
But the 370 ones, they just bolt on, right? It's 4 bolts or whatever for that bearing hub assembly.
Yeah, it's all the same. Like it bolts right up. The GTRs, the 370s, and the 350s are all the same, like bolt pattern or on the hub. And I'm sure there's like the G35, the G37, the QX45, like all those I think are the exact same hubs. once, like for the most part. So I just know the 370 is the one you want. So I'm not sure if there's any differences between them, but that's what I ordered, and that's what's supposed to be here eventually, apparently.
Yeah, I think that stuff all ships from Nissan North America, and they've only got a few warehouses at the moment. So.
Yeah, so because I ordered it through Z1 Motorsports, and then
I think they just drop ship.
Yep, that's kind of what the email sounded like today. Everything else should be here this probably the next day or two, so I can get it at least ready to go. And if I don't have the hubs, it's still drivable and ready to go. But
sweet.
Back into the field of 54 to 60 GLTC cars.
Man, that's gotta be crazy on such a small track.
It is crazy on such a small track. It's wild. The starting, like, they're not all the way out of the last corner before the front row is crossing start finish.
Yeah, it's a lot
at the start of the race.
Yeah, how do you wave off the green on that one? Right, you can't.
You don't.
No, they're just going to go green. So you know they're going to go green, so everybody can kind of get a little jump, right?
Yeah, it's green. Yeah, just assume it's green.
Yeah.
No, I think I was about cornering turn 10 right, 11, right? 11. Yeah, taking turn 11 right as the flag was dropped. So basically the whole front straight is, cars side by side, and then there's a handful of cars behind me.
Do you have a radio in to know it's green, or?
No, I just wait till the exhaust gets really loud, and then it's time. Everyone's going.
I would love it if Robbie got that so that I could talk to him, but
I don't think I would love that as much as you would.
Absolutely true. I would be mostly quiet. I'd just be like yelling, "Go, go, go!"
No, because Dalton would go stand next to you, and I'd just
fuck
be
that guy. I know better than that. Come on now, you got to give me some credit here.
If I could steal boonies, I'd be down.
The only other thing that I would do is I might, if you had a gap between you and the guy in front of you, I would maybe give you lap times for the U2 so you know whether or not you could chase that guy down, or just little things like that. I'm not going to be
super chatty,
drill sergeant
trying to have a conversation on the radio.
How's it feel out there, Robbie? What's up, man? Well, hey, why aren't you talking back? What's up, dude? No, I'm not gonna be that guy. But
turn me
if
into
there's
Kimi
useful
Räikkönen.
information that I can provide, I'm gonna provide it. There's a accident in turn 3. Get ready for a yellow.
That would be useful information.
I would be more than happy to provide that for you.
I could see if Booney would let me steal his new radios.
I think
it's for the team to test to make sure they work. I feel like that's
there you go.
Yeah.
I think what Team Robertson does is that I think he just uses Bluetooth headphones.
I think so.
And a phone.
I do have Bluetooth headphones.
And I think he just calls. I think Becky just calls him and he answers, and then off they go.
Can he talk back then?
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know if he can. I'm sure he can talk. It's probably really muffled and hard to hear.
I'm trying to think. I'd have probably my phone in my pocket so you wouldn't hear me.
No, but most of those Bluetooth headphones have microphones built into them.
Oh, I guess mine don't.
Right.
Maybe
well, if you have AirPods or something like that, it's built in.
Oh, is it really? Huh.
Yeah.
I learned something today. But yeah, so actually a huge thanks to Jeremy Boyson for thinking of me first and offering those tickets up, and now I get to go to festival, and I'm not going to do any photography things, and so it's gonna be a blast. Yeah. So
my hot tip on the restarts or the starts with the green is you watch the corner workers, because they'll drop the double yellows when it goes green straight away, and that's how you jump people without radios. So.
Nice. Trying to think. I don't know if that would really work at Gendering because there's no corner stations right there.
Yeah, I think you'd be past the last corner. Hopefully, you're past the last corner
Maybe
station
not,
by the time. God, I would hope so. I mean, it's going to be a long line, but Jesus,
well, it wasn't
be single file.
Yeah, I wasn't quite that far back last time, but maybe I will be this time. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on the track and where your layout is.
Everybody's going to be getting
such a stacked field.
Not to say that Heartland wasn't stacked to begin with too.
But oh my, there's nobody's missing this.
No,
Except apparently Jeremy Boyson.
Yep. So I assume that I don't actually have to drive the Z. I assume the rig and his Cayman or the RSX comes with the tickets. So I'll pick those up on Thursday and just take the whole thing to Gingerman. I assume that big area that's normally his is mine now. So it's nice that Jeremy just rolled out the red carpet and I get to take his spot at Gingerman as well as his spot on the track with his car.
Well, if you're leaving Thursday, you're not going to get that spot before Dalton does. So,
oh yeah, actually, I know I'm missing most of Thursday. I've already accepted that.
Is that what your plan is?
Yeah, because the way it's set up, they do practice and qualifying 1 on Thursday, practice 2 and qualifying 2 on Friday, and then there's a race 1 and 2 on Friday. Yes. Because there's a dust race on Friday, which means I get to have my underglow on, which is great. And then
nice.
And then Saturday is that 2 or 3? It's for sure 2 races, obviously. And then Sunday's a fun race. So I'm assuming I'm missing Thursday and Sunday when it comes to actual driving, but that's all right.
If you left early enough Thursday morning, you could probably make quali 1.
Yeah, potentially.
Because the last time attack session starts at like 8:20. And it's just like time attack, GLTC, time attack, GLTC, time attack is the schedule. So I would say that starts like it's going to be after 7 p.m. And I think historically we've usually gotten there at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah. But I currently don't have all of Thursday off.
Oh.
Because I did not actually up until like yesterday, I didn't realize that there was that much stuff going on Thursday. I was like, cool, we'll show up on Thursday.
Yeah, that's
got all my vacation requested. I was like, great. Then I looked at the schedule, like, not great. That's a lot of time that I need to be there. Oh well.
Yeah. Adam Jabez ruined everybody's jobs because everybody has to like take off Wednesdays and
yeah, because everything's a 5-day event now.
Yeah.
My boss knows exactly how many days I've taken off in the last like month and a half or 2 months or whatever it is, and it's like, yeah, I know.
He's got the chalk marks up on the wall right in front of his desk.
He had that stat like right there when we were talking about like, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
What do you want me to do about it? Like, you keep telling me to go. You could tell me no, but you don't. So I don't want to hear about it.
No, I'm not too worried if I miss all of Thursday because I've been to Gingerman before. I'm not going to get any faster by doing 2 full sessions on Thursday. So if I can get practice qualifying and then do the races on Friday, that's good enough.
That's the spirit, Robbie. I'm not going to get any faster.
I'm as fast.
Why would I ever try?
I'm at 10 tenths. I'm already good enough. No, it's yeah. I'm not. I don't need 3 sessions of practice. We'll be fine.
I'll take all the practice sessions I can get. Every single, as many minutes as I can have.
Nope, I don't blame you there. But I know that with my schedule, it's not going to be as convenient as I was hoping. But that's all right.
Yeah. Well, I meant free ticket. Can't complain. Huh?
No, everything's a bonus at this point. So yeah, I'll be a Gingerman.
Fucking Robbie.
It always seems to work out, huh?
Right?
Yeah,
it's kind of annoying, I would imagine.
Watch those hubs show up tomorrow with something,
Yeah.
That would be hilarious if they show up on Friday so I can get them knocked out this weekend over the long weekend.
Yeah. So, yeah, you got that shift link thing. It just shows up. Yeah, there's only one in the country. I'll see if I can get it, which normally means it ain't showing up for months.
Nah, it shows up the next day. It's fine.
Yeah.
And it only costs $28.
I can't believe that.
Yeah, and then like who doesn't drop a head off at the machine shop and get it back
come on,
the next day? I mean, that's just customer service. I assume that's how it happens everywhere.
Which machine shop has the capacity to do that right now? Like everything's like 6 to 8 weeks.
No, man, it's like the one
that's what I thought for sure. I thought, Robbie, you just figure out how to buy new heads because you aren't seeing those until like, November. But nope. Not Robbie Veerhout.
No, we got
if I call them tomorrow, they'd be like, yeah, sure, bring them on in. We'll get to them when we get to them. It'll probably be, sometime in October.
Or 2022.
Yeah.
It's not that. It's no time at all to deck ahead. It's easy. And they're like, yeah, we'll knock it out. 2 days. I'm like, are you sure? Yeah, 2 days. 24 hours.
Honestly, I think that the fact that it is like the simplest of engine machining processes is probably what saved you.
Oh, for sure. And it didn't need any extra work. It was literally.
If you needed a valve job, yeah, forget it.
No, it was just a quick skim. When you looked at it, you could see it's been machined, but like it still had like discoloration. It's like, I mean, they hardly took anything off of it. Like it was just, zoop. Okay, you're good. It's flat. Perfect.
Flat enough.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't leak. It's fine.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I waited months for parts.
I know you did.
And I hear him like, oh yeah, they did it like overnight. And then the problem was I didn't have time to go pick it up, like what?
Yeah.
Are we gonna have to name this one "I Hate Robbie Veerhout" too?
You do whatever.
Just every episode is,
version 2.0.
Yeah, that worked out for him, didn't it? Oh yeah. And from now on, I'm just gonna say I'm not going to any events, and we're just gonna see how things work out.
And you say, I didn't get a ticket, and you see
I didn't.
Tickets come flying at you.
You do realize that's how I went to festival last year at PPIR, right? Same thing.
Yeah,
same thing.
I know. Same thing.
I'm not going to PPIR.
Somebody who didn't have a car ready to go. You know what, Robbie?
You go.
You go.
This crazy podcast and these awesome people.
Shit doesn't happen to me. I'm just saying.
That's not true. It could happen. You've been offered lots of things and you've turned them down.
That's true. That's because it feels different to me when they're like offering to buy me things. Like I'm not okay with that.
I'm kind of okay with that.
No, I'm not.
I accept it. I'm okay with it.
I
don't ask for it, but if it gets offered, I'll take it.
I'm not okay with it.
Granted, no one's bought me parts, but I have gotten tickets.
Yeah, that's what people are trying to do. And I'm like, nah, that's not where I'm at.
I get that.
So, yeah.
But anyways, this is James's show, and I like hijacked it because that's what I do.
Yeah, I'm just here to chat to you guys. I don't care.
So, tell us about how working on the Datsun, because apparently you're not getting parts in 2 days.
Yeah. So, I've been working on the Datsun when I get time, but I don't have a lot of time. Let's be honest. Anyone who's has kids and is working from home and full-time parenting kind of knows the drill. So, but when I do get time, I've been working on it. So, got the motor to do, but I was waiting on parts, and then I got new brakes that I've been putting on, so I did that. But of course, as I was doing that, 40-plus-year-old car, I rusted out hard lines, so I had to get those replaced. And then, the replacements, they never quite fit just right. And so then I had to adjust all that. And then because I'm pulling it apart, it's that, while I'm there, I may as well refinish the brake booster and I may as well do the master cylinder. And, 4 months goes by. And you're like, oh, yeah, this thing's hasn't been off the jack stand in 4 months. So,
yeah.
Now it's driving. So it's great.
I was going to say, I saw you cruising it. You've done a lot of stuff to it. It's looking good.
Yeah, I mean, I really got into this plating, so I bought like a Caswell kit, and I've been doing the copycat yellow zinc plating. So, it's amazing how much time that takes, but it's kind of like you can set it and go. It's just a lot of prep work. So,
right.
But it comes out looking amazing compared to like rusty stuff. So I've been doing that a lot. But that also delays, as soon as you take parts off, you're like, oh, I should plate it while it's off. And then 2 weeks go by before it's plated. So
are you going for like the concours quality with this car? Or?
Mostly just trying to get rid of the old rusty stuff, right? And there's a bunch of stuff that the past owner had done where they, rattle canned over a bunch of things, and and it was starting to rust. So it's mostly fixing all of that.
Gotcha.
But it's a driver. I mean, it has gone on the track. It will go on the track again. It's just, while I'm at it, syndrome strikes a lot on that car. So,
And you seem to, maybe perfectionist isn't the right word, but you definitely seem to be attention to detail. And I think that really, that really shows on that car.
Well, if I take it off, it goes on better. That's kind of my rule. But also, I'm like my worst enemy because I'm like, if it's not quite right, it bothers me. So like, which is hilarious because the race car has got like, the rubber rails are all beat up and there's like donuts down the bodywork and, cracks in the fiberglass and stuff's riveted on just to get it through the weekend. But like with the orange car, I guess because, I'm more of a project car, I guess I find projects to fill the time. I don't know how that works. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure I could just drive it around and it'll be fine as it is. But, while I'm at it.
Yeah, I get it. Well, I kind of went the total opposite with the Z. I was like, I wanted to replace the Y pipe because the one's like not great because because it fell off at Heartland. And I was like, well, I can't guarantee I'm going to have one here. But I got this stick welder. So we're just going to make this work. So I stick welded the flange back to the pipe, and we're good to go. Looks like shit, but we're good to go. Total opposite of what you're doing here.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of stuff just to get it working that I've done, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna pull this later, and I'll do that later. But if it comes off, it gets laced. Yeah.
See, last time I could just go on Facebook Marketplace, and some kid had one of these Y pipes for $50 here in Des Moines. I could just go get it. That didn't happen this time. I thought that was just a thing.
I thought people just message you and go, hey, I heard you need a Y pipe. I'm getting rid of one. Here you go.
That's probably going to happen after this show. Hey, I just replaced mine. You want the OEM one? Yeah, I do. Because it doesn't have a stick weld flange together.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I've been busy with that in the evenings, when you get a few hours here and there, trying to get some more on that. But, motivation goes up and down too. You break something or you strip something, you kind of like, cars are stupid.
It's a stupid hobby, I tell you.
Yeah. Why do I do this? Cars are stupid,
Yep.
And then you go and you drive it and get the new brakes and bed them in and you're like, I love this thing. Like, why don't I do this more? So.
Did you get like a proper big brake kit for that? Or what'd you do?
Yeah. I bought the kit from Z-Car Garage, which I've been like honing over the few years. It's custom designed for this car, and it uses like the OEM handbrake, so you don't have to worry about that. Nice. And then it's like the pedal feel is real amazing. Right? A lot of the big brake kits, the pedals just suck. But this one, and then they track drive it. So the big reason I wanted to switch brakes was I could get like 2 laps, and then I would cook the brakes on the Z when I was getting towards the end of tracking that car, just as I was getting up to speed.
I suppose they have pretty tiny OEM brakes.
Single piston front, solid discs, and then drums on the back. I tried swapping out different pad materials and stuff, but the rotors would just get too hot and heat soak, and then the fluid stop boiling. So I'd have to I got those speeder bleeders, the ones you can just do yourself where they got the little check valve in them.
Oh yeah, I got those.
So I could bleed my brakes between sessions, and that was getting not fun. So
yeah, it kind of takes the fun out of it when you can't go even a day.
Yeah, so Rob at Z-Car Garage put this kit together real good, and a lot of cars have track used it, and so I saw that, and I was like, all right, I want one of those. So I saved up the cash, and then it was like, all right, I'm just going to go with this solution. So
yeah, no, it looks the business. It looks like a proper brake setup.
Yeah, I mean, they really dialed in like the piston sizes and stuff like that to really work out the brake feel, and it's amazing. So I've driven other cars with big brakes, and it just it's on and off, or you don't have the modulation kind of thing, or it's like the pedal's so long but the brakes are only at the end of it.
Right.
Yeah. So that was the big thing that sold me on this kit. So
are you still boosted brakes, or are you?
Yeah, it's got the factory booster. I just refinished the outside of it and cleaned it up. It was all a little rusty and stuff. So that's the good thing. The problem with those boosters, though, they're hard to find. So
yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah, they don't make them anymore. They make the Marshall cylinders, though, surprisingly. So yeah, it's weird what parts they do and don't make for these cars. It's really strange. So yeah.
I'd be curious if they have like a 240SX or 350Z swap that people are doing.
Yeah, pretty common one's a Wheelwood. swap, but again, you end up with different pressures and stuff. For a long time, a big swap was like the 280ZX later model one, but then because everybody was swapping them, they disappeared, and you can't get those either. So you can get like rebuilt ones, but people have a lot of trouble with them leaking and stuff. So
yeah, it's not the same.
Yeah, I mean it's hard. I'm learning though. My car is kind of a weird year. It's a 72, but it got some like. It's kind of that in-between year from the early to the late. And so some of the stuff is over its lifetime has either been switched to later years or not. So I got to be real careful ordering stuff on that car. So,
yeah, there's nothing more frustrating than ordering what you think is right, waiting almost, I don't know, more than 24 hours, and it shows up, and then it's the wrong part.
Yeah, I ordered hard lines, and they were the wrong ones for the master cylinders. And I was like, all right, these are the wrong ones. I just need these 2 lines from the kit. Can I get these 2? And I was like, but then, it's
6 more weeks. Yeah.
By the time you've gone through that process of ordering, getting, so.
Yeah, that's super frustrating.
Yeah. But I don't know. Yeah. I think the attention to detail thing kills me. If I was just like slap it together and go, I'd probably be done by now. So
yeah, it's like you're like, yeah, I'm getting the right hard lines. I'm like, I just go to the parts store and get some $20 worth of tube, and we'll just bend this by hand, and we'll make this work.
Yeah, I was gonna do that. It's just real hard to get like stainless metric lines, and that's what I've been running into.
Oh yeah.
I can get like just the steel ones, but they just don't last. So
no. But you also went racing.
Yeah, and went back racing. Real happy about it. Awesome weekend.
But you had, was that as long or longer of a layoff racing than you did talking to us on the show?
Yeah, it was like about 20 months by the end of it.
Man.
So I had my daughter, and I knew I wasn't really going to race much in 2019. No, 2020. Yeah, I raced almost all 2019, and then 2020, I knew I wasn't going to race that much with my daughter, but I was planning on doing some events, and then COVID hit.
Yep.
And then, so then we were trying to work out what we're going to do, and then they canceled a bunch of events, and then they wouldn't let family, and I was like, so, kind of hard doing that sort of stuff. And then, this year roll around, time just seems like it seems to drag, but also like time seems to pass real quick. So, and next thing you know, it was like, oh, I probably should go racing again. Like, let's see how we can do this. The daughter's a little older. She's interacting. Let's see, take her for the weekend. And so we went up to Monterey for the weekend. It was awesome. So I got to go racing, and my wife and kid got to come and visit, and they went to the beach and aquarium and stuff. So they loved
perfect.
It. Yeah. So a little, nervous getting back into racing after such a, long break, kind of rusty.
Did you do did you do anything prep work wise for like from a mental standpoint, like sim racing? I don't know, anything or was it just kind of like, I'm just going to go out there and do it?
Yeah. So I've been, sim racing, I have like an Xbox One, that with the Fanatec wheels and pedals and shifter and stuff. And so I was driving that a lot, late night drives on Forza Horizon or, Forza Motorsports 7, just driving around, kind of scratched my driving itch for a long time there. And then, so I've been doing that for a while, but for this event, coming into it, I was actually real thankful that, I used to take better track notes. So like if I'd stopped like 6 months before, or maybe a year before, I probably would have had really bad track notes. I used to write, brake harder or, brake deeper, lighter brake. And it's like, well, lighter than what,
relative to what, man?
Yeah. So I actually started, brake number 5, or like braking at this point, move it 50 feet or whatever, move it to this marker, or count this or whatever.
That's like a really interesting point I'd never thought about.
Yeah, because if I look back at some of my old notes, I brake harder. I don't know how hard I was braking in 2 years ago. I don't know. Nope. But luckily I started doing that within the last year when I was back racing in 2019. So.
No, your article that you wrote for your website on that was super helpful. I actually printed off I think it was there's on a PowerPoint thing where he kind of had the cliff notes of it, and I kept it in my binder of track maps and just things that I keep. I have a binder where I keep my tech sheets, track maps and just random stuff like that. Sometimes the rules for mid-if, I kept the rules in case they got brought up. And so I had a copy of that part of your notes. So when I was doing my track notes, I kind of referenced that. I was like, okay, he was doing this here. Okay. Just as a way.
I got that from Ross's stuff, that was when it really clicked for me. It's oh, yeah, this makes more sense now. My track notes are way easier when I go back. So that really helped a lot. So I knew what I was doing. I had data so I could see what I was doing. And then, mental stuff, just trying to get ready. The whole point of the weekend though was to have fun. I think that really changed it for me. It wasn't this wasn't a fun event to see how it's going to work with the kid and the wife and just going racing. It wasn't I have to be on the podium or whatever. I was no, let's just see how I do. And if I still really want to do this thing and put the time and money into it and stuff like that. And so that was great. It kind of took the pressure off, but I was amazed at how quickly I got up to speed just with that sort of stuff. I was within a second and a half of my best lap times there after the first 3 sessions. So,
oh, awesome.
Yeah, I was actually amazed. I thought I was going to be way back and really slow and take me a long time to get up there. But, and we had a huge field, which was cool. We had 44 cars in the end on track. And so at Laguna,
there's so many spec racers out by you. There's none over here.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, East Coast, West Coast, that's kind of where, Southeast and the West is a lot. So,
because before we announced that we were buying the MPO or that Booney bought the MPO one, everyone was trying to figure out what I was doing. They're oh, you're buying a spec racer Ford so you can race with James. I'm well, I don't live in California and there's nobody here with spec racer Ford. So I
knew that was definitely not the case. It was there's no way. That doesn't make any sense. Robbie's not going to go there. That's, If James and there was or if you were closer, or if I was closer to you, or if there was a 40 car field here, maybe that would hold some water. But I could have seen it if there was a decent following around here. But
there's 3.
Yeah, if Robbie's going to stick with club racing independently, he's going to stay in GLTC because that's the best place to find decent field sizes with a large enough variance in skill level. To have somebody to chase after no matter where you're at.
Yep.
That's what you want. Yeah. That's what you want in racing, right? You don't want to be going out doing a glorified track day, right? Where
nope.
It's just
that's exactly.
Yeah.
You want to race people. That's where the fun is, It
doesn't
even
matter
worse
if you're
than time attack
if you're 40th. Out there by yourself.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. I completely agree.
Even worse than time attack.
It is.
Time attack's terrible, right?
The worst. What is this, Sunday Cup?
God damn it. Don't get me started on Sunday Cup.
Oh, man. But no, I completely agree. It's the first time I was at Gingerman, I was super nervous and I just wanted to survive without having any incidents. And then Heartland Park, I wanted to do well, but I'm fully aware of the level of competition for the first, we'll just say at least 16 drivers. And then I know I'm not in the first 16 drivers. So I'm well, hopefully we have some good competition. And I did. So I was able to battle with the 4 guys that were similarly fast as I was. And I'm fully aware that's what it's going to be like at Gingerman. There's going to be probably 25 drivers that are very, very, very fast, and they're on this end of the spectrum. And then I'm over here on that other end of the spectrum, and that's fine. Because there will probably be some other guys down there with me, and it'll be good racing from start to finish. And that's all I care about. I just want to get better.
Honestly, some of the best races I ever had, it wasn't at the pointy end. It was this past weekend, there was 4 or 5 of us that are about the same speed, and we were going back and forth, swapping. It was that one. We were in 20 something. I think I finished 17th in the end, but we, and that was awesome because we were too wide down the corkscrew, or like, and then like, swap them back and forth. And, cause them, they're your buddy, so, I think that's some of the best racing there is, if you can do that and get that kind of experience every time, that's what I think people want. I don't, podium's great. I'll take a win. I'll take a flag or trophy, whatever. But like, it's fun. We're doing it for fun, right? We're doing it because we love it. So if you can have those races, that's the whole reason. So
nope, I completely agree. But you and I were texting before you went out there, and you kind of were mentioning like, man, I'm kind of nervous, like just taking that step back into it. I'm sitting here going, you'll be fine. You were great when you first started doing it. It's just going to matter of like kicking the dust off. You'll be right back to it. But like, was it that way? Like, was it as simple as seriously as soon as you strapped in, you're like, focus, ready to go, no problem, or did it take a few laps, few races? Like, I mean, where were you at mentally?
Yeah, that's a good thing. So yeah, I mean, I was nervous heading in. I was real nervous. It's not dangerous, but it is not dangerous kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
You can technically get hurt. I'm not sure anyone's ever died in a spec racer, but I think you can, people have got hurt.
Theoretically, you could, yeah.
Yeah. So, that, was a little different for me because it was like, now I have responsibilities and other stuff. But, that wasn't really nervous. My nerves was, I haven't really driven much. When I was driving, I wasn't driving stick. I was driving my daughter around town or doing whatever, I wasn't driving anywhere near as much as I was commuting and all that stuff. So like, was my presence and awareness of cars around me still there, and at speed, was I able to do what I used to do kind of thing? That was a lot of what I was nervous. Like, I didn't want to ruin somebody else's weekend. Let's like wait on my line more than like ruining my weekend or whatever. Like, I was less worried about destroying the car than I was like, I didn't want to be that guy that ruined everybody else's race kind of thing.
Yeah, I know that.
But also, getting back up to speed and, sucking, I didn't want to suck, So, but like first session out, bam, like first lap, slow, just taking it easy, making sure I got the feel for it. And then I was like, oh yeah, I remember this. Yeah. And then, started the brake modulation came back. The big thing that I don't have a fancy sim. So the big thing that, the car rotating under you, that butt feeling and in your back, and that, there's no way to get that other than to like go kart or drive or, physically do it, or have like huge expensive simulator. So as soon as that came back to me, that was when it made the difference, And then, yeah, once you start to do it again, you're like, and then you come in off that session and you're on a total high and this is awesome. I should do it again. Why don't I do this? And so then you were like, okay, yeah, injected with the drug again. And now on you go, like the addiction's back, right? Like, oh yeah, this is awesome.
I know that feeling. You jump out, you're like, did you see that on turn 3?
Yeah.
Just super pumped about it. Like, just doesn't matter. Like the whole weekend at Heartland Park, I never looked up what position I was in, except to go figure out what position I needed to go line up in for the next race. It didn't matter. I knew I wasn't first, so it didn't, like, who cares? Like, I'm battling for the guy that's in front of me right now. If I can get in front of him, then I'm gonna battle the guy that's in front of him. And if I can't battle him, I'm gonna try to keep the guy behind me. And it was just good. It was like, I wasn't stressing about position. I was just stressing about being better.
Yeah, my whole thing was like, I'm just going to go have fun, but it very much switched, and there was like, I had to keep turning myself off of like, oh man, I should check my data. I think I can get a couple tenths here, or it's like, whoa, like we're not here to do the tenths thing, like my daughter kind of wants to play with me a little bit. Let's go, do that a little. So yeah, I had to check myself a couple of times for like. The red mist could definitely set in really quick, and competitive me can take the better, control. But like, I had to be like, no, we're just having fun. Let's just go race and do what you have. Yeah. So, but the second race kind of was not a good race though. Last race of the weekend for the cars and everybody, 40 something plus field. So
you guys only do 2 races?
Yeah, we only get to do 2 races in a weekend. So we have a qualifying race and a qualifying race on 2 days. It was just a 2-day weekend.
Gotcha.
We used to do like a festival where we got 3 races one weekend, but like I think that we don't do that anymore.
How long is a race for you?
25 minutes, 16 laps, maybe, depending on the track.
Yeah, so it's a little longer than Grid Life. Grid Life will do 2 races a day. And then they're about 20-minute sessions.
Yeah, so you guys have like one class, right?
Yeah.
And so, there's Sunday Cup, there's GOTC, and then there's the various time attack class, and then the HBDs, right? We've got 7 racing classes. So, and within those, so we got 7 racing groups, and within those, there's multiple classes within those groups. So that's kind of how this could. And then Laguna won't let you run until after 8:30, and you have to be done by like, I think it's 4:30 or 5.
Oh, wow.
Sound restriction. So they're kind of tight on their, and the problem with Laguna at that time of year is it's foggy in the morning. So you don't get to start at 8:30 anyway, because you can't see. Yeah, they sent us out. We were the first group out on the Sunday, and the fog was so bad they had to black flag us, and then people couldn't see the black flags from the corner stands because it was so foggy.
Oh, sketchy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I could. And then they sent us back out. I couldn't see the bottom of the corkscrew turning down because of the fog. Like, I was like, whoa. Like, good thing I know this track.
Yeah, just trust that it's going to be there, I guess.
Well, it's not going to move.
But for that, you've completely lost all of your reference points at that point, because like for the corkscrew, isn't your reference point like off the track, like in the distance?
Yeah. You're looking at that tree, but like you kind of know after a little while, like how much rotation you need the car and like where you're throwing it kind of thing. So you kind of like, I'm not really staring into that tree anymore. I'm kind of like, okay, I know that mentally I need to be here, and then I need to like get ready for because the harder turn is actually the one after the corkscrew. Mm-hmm. Like the corkscrew isn't actually the hardest turn. And so you're kind of like thinking ahead to that turn. I don't know, but like I would say that took me several years to get to that point. So like that was handy. That like if it had been my first event back and I'd only done like a year, I think it would have been a different story. Right?
Yeah,
like, completely.
And I guess this is technically your home track.
Yeah, and I mean Laguna, Thunderhill are probably the 2 tracks I've driven the most. Thunderhill probably is the most of all. So. Just because I did the 25-hour there, I've probably done so many laps there. So.
Yeah, you learn it. You learn it after 25 hours.
Yeah, I'm excited for you and the endurance stuff because I really love doing the endurance stuff. It's exhausting though; like it like wipes you out.
Yep,
that's really cool to do. So.
That's why I'm at the gym every day now. I'm trying to take my fitness super serious, so that if I can't be the fastest, I'm hoping to be at least the fittest, so that I at least don't get tired.
It's the mental alertness and drain is probably the biggest one that I think for that. I also like doing the stuff Adam does. Like I like being on the radio and doing the pit crew stuff and things like that. So I find that stuff fun. Getting the car prepped and knowing how to speed up a pit stop and stuff. I like that stuff too.
For sure.
The mechanical engineer in me takes over kind of thing. So.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
yeah. When you're talking about binders and stuff, I'm like, yeah, he's an engineer because I have binders too, and it's like,
I got my notes.
And they're dated from what time I was there and what my setup was and what I changed. Yeah,
I got the weather, I got the temp. I got everything, man.
I got Ross's, how to check your notes in like 10 minutes, an hour or whatever it is a day. Yep. Yeah, I got that stuff too. Yeah.
Yep, I save my speed secret stuff. I got like all the stuff that's super important. Like that's important. I'll save that one.
Yeah,
go through them all.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to just which one do you need when? That's the thing for me but the more you do, I think the less it becomes about like driving skill, like turning the wheel and whatever, the more it comes like a mental thing, after years, that, to me, it's once you get the some of the basics down, it becomes all right, mentally it's more of a, where to use your cognitive ability versus your, subconscious kind of thing.
No, that makes sense.
But yeah, this second race, we had 3 green laps, and the rest of it was, the safety car won, finished first, probably had the fastest lap time too. But we had like multiple safety cars out, maybe 5 or 6 cars destroyed. Yeah.
Oh,
we had, they impounded all of us at the end of the race. It wasn't like, we've got to pick the ones that had contacted and then you 6. All right, here you go. They're like, no, it's just easier if we just put you all in. And
one
then
or
we'll let
two.
you know who can go. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, I had a couple close calls.
Crazy.
I was like, I'm just staying
Like,
on this. I want to go home. I like.
How do you wad that many cars up in one race? That's insane to me.
So second corner at Laguna, but turn 2 coming into the hairpin, someone clipped someone's back tire, spun them around, so they were like counter course facing. Some guy plowed into him nose first, and then the 10 cars behind them are backed up, and you lose a couple more there. So that was the first incident. And then like a couple cars try to go too wide without giving room in some turns, and they end up beached in the gravel, so like that brings out the safety car again, so a couple cars take each other out and breakers steering them, and then they're middle of the course with everybody going around them. So
God, I'm picturing that perfectly because I've done that on iRacing so many times in a Spec Racer Ford. I can see the whole thing, man.
yeah,
That's one of your go-to cars, isn't it, Robbie?
Yeah, because it's so hard, and it makes me realize all the mistakes I'm making. I know Dalton always says, like, I fucking hate that car. I was like, yeah, I know that's why I like it, because it shows me how bad I am. I need to use it to learn.
Yeah, I haven't run it, but I hear like it's way more tail happy than the real car actually is.
Yeah, that seems to be the case. It's like it's almost like the engine's like a foot further back than it actually is. So like when you're driving, like if you like, and iRacing's bad that way anyways. Like you can't just like bring the ass end out and bring it back. Like it just doesn't let you do that. But especially with the Spec Racer Ford, like if you get slightly unbalanced or push it so that the back end's a little further out, I mean it's already gone. Like there's no catching it, and it's just you looped it. So yeah, it's all about balance and throttle control, or in the case of like most turns, it's just when in doubt, throttle down.
Yeah, keep the throttle in on turns on the Spec race. Yeah, I mean, the first year, everybody loops the car, like, snap, oversteer, just by, like, if you lift mid-corner on a fast turn, everyone does that in the Spec racer, but, like, I don't think it's as bad as the iRacing makes it out to be.
No, and I think, yeah, it's in reality, you can feel it. You can adjust for it.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think the feel,
because in iRacing, as soon as you can tell like your screen's doing like what you would normally be feeling, it's already too late, because it's past what physics is going to allow, because that's how you can see it on the screen.
Yeah. I had to build a custom car in Forza to get a Spec racer, like, so I had to like do the gearing and the power and stuff, and then I just did like it's a Fiat, I think. Fiat 19 or whatever, or Fiat 14 or whatever it is, with a rear motor kind of thing. And then, because I was doing a MX-5 Cup, but it's not the same. It wouldn't do the same dynamics. So, but yeah, that was kind of fun.
Yep.
Yeah. I got to do the iRacing one sometime. It's just, getting another rig and,
Of course.
Yeah, what's money, huh?
Yeah, saying just like that, that's $1,000. It's pretty easy to do.
Yeah, it spins out of control so fast.
Yeah, I mean, you can spend as much on sim racing as you can on racing.
Yep.
30 grand rigs. So
yeah, it's craziness.
Easy. So yeah.
So what's next for you?
Trying to work that out. I want to get the Z motor finished, and then I want to take it to the track again and try that out. And then we're trying to work out like racing wise, what do we do? Ideally, I was thinking about getting a truck and trailer, but with the prices of truck and trailers lately,
Good luck.
I'm going to wait for a little while, I think, on that.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice to have the race car here so I can work on it. I used to go up to the shop and do that. I can't do that anymore given the distance and time. So like, and I have a daughter, so I don't actually get like a full day where I can go and do stuff anymore. So,
Is your wife gonna be all right with the Datsun on one side of the garage and then the Spec Racer on the other?
I don't know. You know, I think she lets me. She's real great. She lets me. Garage is yours. You do whatever you want in it. I just want to store some stuff in there. I said, all right, yeah, I'll store some stuff. But garage is for working.
Perfect.
She's good. She knew that getting into it, so she's happy with that. It's just a matter of like, even though it's a 2-car garage, I don't think I can get 2 cars in and have enough working space to work around them. So I'd have to like shuffle cars, and so I could always put one in the trailer and then work on the other, and then do it the other way. But then I got to get a sit up pad. I got to, it's a slippery slope on that stuff too. So
yep.
Yeah. And then, next thing you know, I've got, Dalton's rig.
Yeah. And a lift. I mean, the whole thing. It just.
Yeah, I'm jealous of a lift, man. I'd love a lift. So
I feel like I get hurt more often now that I have the lift, because the tools are right in front of my eyes now, and
I don't know.
It's
like
worth
crawling around my back's probably not good for me long term either. So like trying to get up under there and crawl onto my back, that's not been fun. So.
Yeah. No,
it's not an issue that either of you deal with, but I hate crawling around on a creeper because I run my hair over all the time.
Can't relate.
Worse.
Can't relate.
I don't like the creepers because like it works against me as I'm trying to like, if I'm really trying to stiff arm things, you've got to like brace yourself in the other direction, and then it's really, so I don't really actually like creepers that much. But
yeah, I can.
My
see
back
that.
Probably doesn't appreciate what I do to it.
Yeah.
Mine's destroyed from work anyway. It doesn't matter. So.
No, my biggest complaint is that the 4-post doesn't go as tall as I would like it to be. Like, I'm too tall. It needs to go up like one more notch because I hit my head too often.
No one cares, Robbie.
People care, Adam.
I don't think they do.
Someone would be like, someone's going to be like,
is on the Track Walking podcast train at this point. They're like, you know what?
Fuck that guy.
I hate Robbie Veerhout too,
No, someone's going to text me and say, oh, I feel so bad about you and your free hoist. That's what they're going to say.
Exactly.
They're going to say, oh, my condolences that you're an inch too tall.
Yeah.
Why don't you just get a stool and sit up, and then you can do it? Like,
I have to if the truck is on it. I have to, because otherwise the ceiling's too short and I can't go.
You're gonna hit on the roof. How tall is the shed roof? 10?
No, it's like 12 maybe.
Okay, I guess
yeah, it's between
truck,
12.
yeah,
I was gonna say it's got to be at least be
maybe
12.
Maybe 12 to 14, but definitely closer to 12.
Yeah, that 12 sounds right. I've never measured it.
Yeah, but the truck you've got, and it's a 4-post, right? So it's already so you've already got a foot there that you lost. So when the truck's on there, I only go half as tall as I could possibly go. Like with a Z, I can go basically as tall as it'll let me. But the truck doesn't get very tall, and it barely fits on it. It's like all the way to the front, hanging off the end, and then like kind of almost hitting the garage door. I was like. And you're like, is this sketchy?
It's technically within the limits of what it says it's graded for, so it's...
Yeah, but is it the Harbor Freight rating of what it's rated for, or is it the...
Well, it was new like 35 years ago, so I don't know.
Yeah, how's that pump holding it up,
No, the pump's fine. It's there's some rust on there that kind of sketches me out a little bit, but it hasn't fallen yet. It's fine. It's anchored to the floor.
It's got those locks, right? It's got the
of course, and they all work, every single one of them. So we're fine. I maintenance that. It's all good. The important stuff works.
That's good. Yeah, so dream garage hoist would be nice. I really want the floor, that epoxy floor.
Yep.
I really want that where you spill it and you just wipe it up, and also when you drop stuff, you can find it. Like it doesn't look like the rest of the stained concrete floor that you can't find, kind of thing.
Yep, never done that. But
I'm surprised Robbie didn't do that early on,
because it's so expensive to do that shop. 30 by 32. It'd be like a 4 or 5 stall garage technically.
Yeah,
I bet it'd be 3 or 4 kits. And it adds up.
How much was the kit for your trailer?
I got So I think the epoxy was, I think I got it for like 75, and then the clear coat was 100. So yeah, almost $200 for the trailer.
Okay.
And that's
that gets expensive real fast. We need 4 times that, huh?
Yeah. But you've got to do it before you move in. Otherwise, you're never going to do it.
exactly.
Right?
Yep, he's right.
That's
never get
very,
everything out
very
of
true. That's 100% true. Yeah.
Yep. No, you could tell that whoever lived here first started to do that and did like one part, like on the far west side, they kind of did like one section of cement and ran out of epoxy and just gave up. Like, nope, this is going to take way too much. Not worth it.
Or you do like just where your workbenches are, where you're always dropping the stuff.
Yeah.
That way you can find it. Yeah.
But you got to do it all. It's got to be symmetrical. It's got the whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
While you're in there.
While I'm at it, make it look good.
So it starts.
Yep.
It always, as soon as you take one piece off, it's a slippery slope. And the next thing you know, the motor's out and you're porting the head, like, how did that happen?
It happens. Which that's a very popular YouTube video of yours, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people have been watching it. It's been great, actually. I wish I had more time to post and edit the videos that, like I used to have. But, like, I'm surprised how many people are watching it and stuff still.
Apparently, porting a Datsun head is popular on the internet.
I think Datsun's popularity has like gone up dramatically over the past 5 years or so. It's crazy to see the prices nowadays.
Yep, I was thinking the same thing because I wanted a car like yours, or like you, or this nice one that's sitting here, the painting that I have.
Yeah, I really love that painting.
That's a great painting.
Zach did an awesome job on that
from Eyes Up Auto. Where if I could get a Datsun like that. A few years ago, the prices didn't seem so outrageous. Now they definitely seem to have gone up.
Yeah. I got to get Zach to paint me one once I get a good photo of the car. So
yeah, he would definitely do that, and then it would send it straight to your house. I'm sure. And you can hang it on your wall.
Not to your house.
I already have a Datsun painting.
Yeah.
So I don't think you need it. I don't need your Datsun painting too. I just have this one.
I thought you might have a collection. Make a gallery.
I do have some that he did of my cars. I have some of this Datsun, and then I have a Shelby Cobra that I have to paint myself that he made for me.
Yeah, he sent me one. It's so cool. I just wish I had the time, man.
I haven't done it yet. I keep telling myself we're going to do it this winter. When I keep telling myself you're not going to have an entire winter's worth of projects for the Z. You're not gonna. It's gonna just sit there. So you're gonna have time, and then you can do your painting. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to paint this winter.
If you don't have projects, you will find projects.
I know. I'm hoping my projects are all NPO1 based, and I don't have to, like, the Z is just maintenance before the next race.
Yeah, man, I'm really excited about the NPO1. That's a cool car. I looked at those back when the first version came out, before the Evolution ones.
Yep.
They had a lot going for. I think the problem was they didn't have enough cars in the region, kind of thing.
Yeah, I can see that.
And so the racing didn't turn out like they wanted it to. So, but I'm hoping this Evolution, especially now endurance racing, that's where I think the ticket is on them.
Yeah, it's definitely taken off, and I think there's going to be quite a few of them between like WRL and some other series as well. So I know that. Yeah, it'll be pretty common to see multiple at every event, I think.
They're fascinating when you take the bodywork out, like how actually thin and narrow the whole car is, and then it's just got the the wheels and the hubs and stuff out. Like all of that side body work, isn't really doing much.
No, it's just taking up space.
Yeah, it's fascinating because you look at it, you look at the car and then you look at it without the whatever, and you're like,
there's not much to that.
It's almost just a formula car with and you put this extra body stuff on it. So
yep.
Yeah. So, but yeah, cool car. One of those. I think we were talking. One of those was running the 25 at one point.
Yep.
So
yep.
That was fun to run with. So, cause we were like open, we're open cockpit, which, is interesting at nighttime. But they had closed cockpit and we were always, that's kind of nice, closed cockpit and all. So,
yeah. Then you're wiping the bugs off the windscreen and not your visor.
Oh yeah, we had to do tear offs. Just it was impossible. But like the worst is when someone like puts the wheel off and then you get sprayed and like inevitably dirt gets in your mouth. You're like, I don't know. It doesn't matter what you do, dirt's gonna end up in your mouth. Somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not as fun.
But yeah, looking forward to seeing you guys out in that car.
Yep.
You know, cool.
Well, I'm hoping that we can do things and then convince you to come to those races and hang out, and then we can meet you.
Yeah, that would be fun. Yeah, I'd love to do that.
Yeah,
so.
that's just a silver lining as to why we bought it. It was like, oh, now we can finally get James to come to the Midwest.
I don't think that's why Booty won at all.
No, it was part of it. It was definitely part of it. We talked.
Yeah, cool car. I'm looking forward to seeing that
outside the Midwest. There's races outside of the Midwest that you can, or that you'll probably be at. It'll be fine. We'll find a chance.
We'll find something.
High Plains would probably be the WRL race you could most likely make it to.
Yeah, I've almost gone out there before. Big Mission Motorsports. I was going to run with them at one point, and then COVID hit and everything changed. So I was going to run in with them in 2020, I think. So it just didn't work out. So. But yeah, I know. I guess I got to get back racing, but now it's, time. Time is my enemy right now.
Yeah.
So.
Being an adult, responsibilities. It's ridiculous.
Gross. I love the kid though. I really enjoy spending time with her and stuff.
Of course.
We've been drawing like racetracks with chalk on the front, and race cars and stuff. She was like, she came to the racetrack and stuff. She was a little bit put off by the sound. We had these earmuffs for her, but she wouldn't really wear them. So like after that race weekend, she was like, zoomy, zoomy, zoomy. What does a race car say? Zoom, zoom, zoom. So that's cool. Yeah. That's awesome. I don't know if she'll remember when she's older though.
It's amazing what they pick up though, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Like she says things now. I'm like, you've never been around other people and we didn't teach you that. So like, where did you get that?
Yeah. Yeah, you got to watch yourself, man.
Yeah,
they are a sponge for all the things you don't want them to catch.
I'm have to be very careful when I'm driving, and people cut me off now. So I learned that by accident. Yeah. So
yep.
You also got to be careful what podcast you're playing in your garage, I'm assuming.
Yeah, so I don't really play it when she's around.
Sorry.
Yeah, well, the only time I get to work on stuff is late in the evening after she's in bed. So that's really it. So, or maybe a random weekend here and there if my wife will take her out somewhere. So, but yeah, lots of fun. Yeah, a lot changes, but still enjoying the racing. So, hoping to get it back out there some more. Try and work out. Spec Racer Ford's great car. It's getting a little bit more expensive, though. Those cars are, they're getting a sequential now, and that's going to add more price to them, too.
Shit.
Everything's getting a sequential now. It's really weird because, like, I hopped in iRacing the other day, like, for the first time in, I don't know, forever. And I hopped in the Miata and the MX-5 Cup car, whatever it was, whatever the Miata was. And I was like, and my H pattern wasn't working. I was like, that's weird. So I go and like change all the settings and restart it. H pattern doesn't work. No, it's because they're all fucking sequentials now. All of them. Yeah.
I mean, for our car, I think it makes sense. I mean, that's been our Achilles heel since the upgrade.
For sure.
Transmissions don't last. Like they tried straight cut gears and they didn't work out. They tried, the Mazda gears worked out to be better anyway. And then, but you go through a transition, every season or half season or 1.5 season, depending on how well you treat your gears. So it makes sense to upgrade it and go to a more, stout transmission, but, it makes the car yet more expensive. So
I was like, what transmission are they going with?
They're going with a SATEF similar to the
NPO1.
The NPO1 has one. I think it's different gearing though.
Yeah. You know what's really shocking? How fast they expect you to rebuild those.
Well, you can slide the whole gear case out without removing the transmission. Is kind of nice. So
that's good. No, we were looking at it because like just the maintenance on it. Like you need to change the oil every like 5 hours or whatever. It's like that's not going to work for an endurance car. Like you don't really have to. It's like then you got to rebuild it after X number of hours, and it was like not that many hours. But like we were looking because the Formula 3 cars had the same one or nearly the same one, so I was able to get my hands on one of those manuals, and it kind of walked through the rebuild process step by step. I was like, this, if you have the tools, there's not much to this.
Yeah, there's like a few transaxles that are like that. I think the Mendiola Transax, so you can slide all the gear set out and do it and back in an hour or something.
Perfect.
But yeah, they're trying to make it, I think, so you can because to get the transmission out of our car, you got to pull the motor out. You can't get it out otherwise.
Oh, that's kind of a pain in the ass.
Yeah, so if you can change the gears and fix that between, so the problem is when you do a clutch or which happens a lot, you got to pull the whole motor and then put the transmission and put it all back together. And so that's depending on there's some guys that do it all the time. They're quick, but for me, doing it takes me time. So, and it always happens at the track. So
yeah, of course.
That's a late night.
Yeah, and all the tools you need are not right there.
Yeah. So I mean, CSI Performance is really good. They've been helping me out. They helped me get the car prep for this event, and they've always helped me. So they're great at having all the tools and stuff. It's just time.
Yeah, for sure.
So, and the last thing you want to do at a track is like be up all night swapping the transmission out. But
no, I hate working on cars at the track. Hate it. Absolutely hate it. It's the worst.
I'd like to be prepped, ready to go and stuff. So all I want to be doing is making, setup changes, adjustments and things like that.
Exactly.
Having to do that. So, but yeah, I don't know. I love working on cars, but I don't like working on the cars under time constraints and pressure.
Yep.
So, but
completely agree.
Happens. Yeah. Looking forward. Yeah. So what are the maintenance intervals on that car? Can you run a full, what is it? WR runs 2 8-hour races a weekend or something, right? Or 14-hour? Or
yeah, I think it's 2 8 hours typically, or 2 6 hours. Should be no problem to do weekends, but yeah, I think I'd have to double check, but it almost sounded like dumping out gear oil, because it's like it takes like a quart and a half, or like a liter. Like it doesn't take much, so it's like a bottle. It's like, well, for $20, we'll just swap it out. It was kind of the conversation we had about it.
Oh man, fluids. Yeah, best insurance yet. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Nope. If it's
fluids are in the noise for budgets.
Yep. No, if I don't usually go every weekend, but yeah, like every other weekend for oil, and then the NPO one will be even more diligent about it. Because the last time I actually every time I've taken the oil out of the Z this year, it's been like, clear, or not clear, but like, that amber, like see-through, like, well, this is good yet, but we're not going to risk it. VR1.
Well, you got to get a turbo as soon as you run that thing's black. My street car, I barely drove it. I changed the oil because I was like, it's been sitting for a long time. Let me change the oil. Yep. It's like it's already black. Turbo.
You still have the 3?
Yeah. So the Speed 3 just been sitting in the driveway. I haven't really driven it very much. So, but it's fun. It's a fun car, but it's kind of getting long in the tooth too. I put 125,000 on that, and it's 10 years old now. So
that's nothing.
It's just getting started.
Yeah, that's when I buy cars. Is that mileage?
Yeah, I'm not sure I want to buy a turbo car that mileage.
That's
the thing. Direct injection turbo. Yeah.
That's kind of like real early direct injection too.
Yeah, so they haven't sorted out all the gumming and it all gets caked on in those valves and stuff.
They still haven't.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to do, right? So,
yeah. So I'll give you that.
Yeah, fun. That's a fun car when I drive it. It's just, my wife has a Mazda CX-5 we got for having the kid, and so it's a cushy ride, and it's a nice car, so we drive that almost all the time. So
just gotta get that minivan life, dude. Trust me. Don't fight it. Just accept it. Move on. It'll be the best decision you ever made. There is literally nothing better in the world than getting those infant car seats out of a sliding door. It's the best.
My parents came, a bunch of my family came from Australia, and we rented like the turbo Dodge minivan because there were too many people to fit in the car. So for driving. That was that was actually fun to drive. Like when nobody was in it, like when I was driving it from the rental place and like nobody's in it and you're like flooring this. I was like, wow, this thing's got some go. I was
minivans have way more power than they have any business having. Yeah. Like my Odyssey's like kind of fast.
But so I do love the CX-5. We did drive a whole bunch of those like compact SUV. And I was actually surprised. The Mazda is one that actually drives and feels like a good car to drive. You know, it's not like mindless and, you know, numb steering and stuff. I really like that car. I was like, when my wife was shopping for him, I was like, buy this one. This one feels good. You know? So that's the one we got. So
nice.
Can't really go wrong with a Mazda product from like a driver experience viewpoint.
Yeah. I don't know how they do it. I don't know, like, you know, what requirement do you write that, you know, make it fun to drive, but they still, every time they manage to do that. You know, I've had a bunch of rental cars when I was traveling for work and stuff. And I was like, how do you make the car like feel this numb and awkward? Like how did that pass the testing? Right. Like, why does it feel crappy? Like what, you guys didn't spend your time on this?
Yeah. So. Mazda's real good at making fun cars. Honda is pretty good at making fun cars. Pretty much everybody else needs to maybe step back and take a look at what they're doing.
Yeah, I'm really hoping with the new Z coming out that it still feels good because it's got that e-steering, you know, electronic steering versus like power assist or whatever.
Well, theoretically, you could adjust that.
Yeah.
Or hack it or manipulate it or something.
Yeah, I'm worried about, you know, with all the digital dashers and stuff, how much the ECU is plugged into everything on that thing.
If it's anything like the other Zs, it's going to be in everything, and they all have to fucking talk to each other. So you have to have like the climate control and all this other stuff that has to go through each other through the CAN bus system. Otherwise, nothing works.
I'm sure it's CAN bus, and I'm sure it's all tied together.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're not going away from that. So
yeah, that's why the 240 is great. The only computer in there is my phone or the stereo. You know, like it's all relays.
Man, I'm sold on that car. I need to get rid of the GTO. I need to get me a Datsun.
The Monaro, man, the Monaro is a great car.
I know, but they're so expensive, and it's I could get like 3 Datsuns. It'd be great.
Yeah, you gotta take that car to a track, Dave, just one time, because that'll be right.
No, because I'm going to spend like $1,000 to get it like safe, because the tires and brakes not safe, not for the track.
It's fine.
No,
tires is the best thing you can do.
Doesn't
matter what you do.
It has the worst tires on it from that perspective. They're all season like.
It's fine.
No.
You worry too much, Robbie. You're sweating the small stuff.
I'm hoping to not have to sweat anything about that car here in like 4 days. So,
hey, newsflash.
I don't want to jinx it, but yeah, supposedly that's the guy from St. Louis wants it.
Sweet. There goes your racing budget then.
That's right, racing budget's back. That and student loans and all this other adult crap.
Although I hear, like, if you just say, "Hey, I can't make the event," I didn't get a ticket. You know,
guys, I can't make it.
Racing budget works itself out.
Exactly. So. It does. Things just happen, you know. The wife was super pumped about that. By the way, I was like, "Yeah, I'm not going. Just kidding. I'm going, and I'm bringing the car."
Sorry, not sorry,
not sorry.
I mean, she's busy, like, with school and stuff,
she's got finals. Like, what does she care? She don't even notice if I'm here or not.
It's probably nice that you're not there. She
it's
focus
better.
more.
It's
you're
better
not
that
bothering her and all this stuff.
Exactly. Because you know me, Mr. Needy.
Yeah. I mean, I know how you are. I deal with you every day, Robbie. A constant pain.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, that's fair. You know what also is something I totally forgot to do? We need to go check out mypetrobox.com and use the code TTP15 for 15% off of your first box and anything available that's currently in the store, which includes leashes, shirts, and car care products, and mechanics gloves, because I burned a hole in mine and I need to order some new ones.
Dude, I'm always burning holes in those things when I'm grinding. Grinding is the worst. Like, all of a sudden you look over and you're like, okay, that explains it.
Yeah, my finger hurts now.
Yeah, I went through, I don't know, 2 sets of mechanic's glove when I was pouring heads.
Yep. It's easy to do. Like, I was helping over at Booney's shop a while back, and I had they were new gloves when I started, and like I wasn't doing a whole lot of work, just like cutting and drilling and stuff. And like all of a sudden, I'm like, well, all right, well these are cached, but my hands weren't cached. So
yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
But yeah, if you want to get shirts in the mail every month, actually not shirts every month, but like car care products, random other automotive goodies. Shows up every month, usually around the 15th. And it's always fun. It's like a present every month that you bring for yourself. So mypetrobox.com, use the code TTP15. Support John and all the cool stuff he does. And, I mean, he was nice enough to do lots of stuff. Like he reminded me about the wheel hubs on the Z and sends me cool things in the mail. So I appreciate that guy.
Just not E-Man. You don't appreciate E-Man.
No, just John. John's the man.
E-Man's cool. He's got a Z. He's cool. He's got a Z.
Supposedly.
Yeah, he doesn't drive it anywhere.
Does it run again? Did he fix the RB or whatever?
He claims he's going to have it at Road America, but we're not sold yet on that.
I'm not buying it.
No. I think seeing it on the podcast in painting form is the best we're going to get for a while. Remember how last week and the previous week I said that spite is the ultimate motivator? You're about to find out.
Does this episode come out in time for him?
For Road America? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Road America's in October.
He's got a whole month.
So.
All right. So you can lay it on thick then.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Trust me, we have them.
Non-stop in the group chat.
Trust me. So.
But John's like in the group chat, but he's not very chatty because he's too busy sending out all these Petro boxes. So I appreciate everyone that's using the code. A lot of people are using it, and that's awesome. Yep. People just like saving money on cool stuff. And so these boxes are full of cool stuff, and it costs you less money if you use our code.
I did get some of that. I couldn't get it through them, but I did get some of that Eagle Grit stuff. I love that stuff.
I got it through them last month, man. It was great.
Yeah. And I think when I went, they were out of it. Like I decided to buy it, but that stuff's great.
Yep,
like, compared to like all the other stuff I've used. Yeah.
Nope, easily. I've been beating them down about bringing it back, and they finally did. So it should be in the store here real soon, unless the boxes are so many that they don't have extra. But
or they sell out because Robbie Beerhout keeps promoting Eagle Grit.
Yeah, it's great in the shower. Just like rub it all over your body. You smell great. Exfoliate your whole body. It's good stuff.
Yeah, no, I'm amazed at what that stuff will take off. Like, other stuff won't take off. You wash your hand, and you kind of go to try and do the soap, and you're like, yeah, that's not working.
Yeah, so you got like all the little lines are full. Yep, nope. You agree it gets in there. I used that today when I was trying to I needed to clean my hands before I cleaned my head wound. So Eagle Grit.
Yeah, when you can see your own fingerprints without.
Yeah, and then since we don't have sinks in our shop anymore, I got to bring it in the house, so I got to clean up as fast as I can.
That's the problem. Yeah, I used to love that sink for cleaning up.
Yeah, I need one.
Yeah, if I ever get a garage, I'll get it plumbed for sure. Yeah, it's amazing all the uses for that.
Yep. Yeah, mypetrobox.com. Adam, I think we've done a show. We said this was a short show, and we blasted the light right through that.
That's fine.
I mean, it's a short show compared to what we've been doing.
Yeah.
But still a proper show. Because
I am, if I was completely honest, I am hanging on by a thread over here.
I'll be honest.
Yeah, it's late for you guys. Yeah.
I have a headache.
I'm so ready to go to bed.
Is it a splitting headache?
It's a literally splitting headache right here above my eye. It's catching up to me, I'll be honest. That one hurt.
Weird.
And
you don't have a concussion, do you?
No. It's fine. I've only had
aren't you like not supposed to go to sleep with those or some crazy thing?
Yeah, but that was like hours ago. It's fine.
Okay. All right.
I've only been concussed like twice in my life. You were there for one of them. And
that was a deal.
That was skating awful. Related?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we were not in the town that we lived in at the time, and we were like 45 minutes away, But rather than try and figure out where the ER was in the town that we were in, we just got the Audi and drove back to the town we were living in because that was easier because we knew where that one was. And then by the time they finally saw him, his head stopped bleeding.
Yep.
And it had basically like solidified at that point. And so then they had to scrub it out so they could put the staples in there. And I'm like, is this really necessary?
Well, then, of course, it's the back of the head. And they're like, well, by the time we poke you with needles to get any sort of like numbness up there, it's going to be 10 times worse. If we're going to staple you, we're just going to do it real fast. And you just have to endure it. Great. 7 staples in the back of the head. Appreciate it.
You got to take better care of yourself, man.
I wore a helmet after that.
Yeah, but now you just like smacking your head. So
I can't really.
Wrenches,
I suppose I could have wore safety glasses. That might have slowed it down a little.
Yeah.
But no, with skating, it was that's that skate video I posted years ago. It's so like it starts with me like tripping and falling backwards and just like slamming the back of my head from like 6 feet up. Yeah, that one was bad. That was real bad. Yeah. I actually walked away pretty lucky on that one.
Of all the things I did, I never really hurt my head.
That was like hurt head and wrists, like the back of the head and the wrist.
My wrists are to this day pretty messed up.
Yeah, we're getting old.
My shins feel like a mountain range. It's out of control.
Yep. Took a lot of shinners on the...
lot of shinners. For sure. So...
But yeah, we'll wrap this up. Remind everybody again to go to apextrackcoach.com. If you want to get faster on track, use the Apex Pro unit. I was told that they have they are taking orders for a new shipment that's coming in for all the products they need. So I think they're still on pre-order, but it sounds like everything's coming. So if you want in on that and you don't want to be left behind and hope to get one by next year, you need to get in and use the code NOW and get it ordered so that you have a Gen 2 before I do, because I really want a Gen 2 and I am super jealous of Scott Robertson and his Gen 2 because he throws it in my face every time I see him.
Yeah, I haven't seen the Gen 2 yet. I got the old Gen 1 one, but yeah, I haven't seen the Gen 2.
They're
excited to see.
They're pretty awesome. I'm legitimately jealous that Scott Robertson has one and he gets to use it because all the features that I want to be utilizing this year, he has and I don't. But I'm happy with the Gen 1 and I'm able to utilize that for all like at the track data and I guess even now at home data review. But the Gen 2 seems to just takes it up a notch.
Yeah, it looks like, Andrew and that team have been doing great stuff. I really like all his content. He gives a lot to the community on stuff. So.
He really does. Yeah, and I was saying if you're not following him, follow him on Facebook, Apex Pro, and then join the Beginners Data group as well on Facebook. There's just so much information on getting started. Because there's a lot to take in when you're kind of like scrolling through. Like, what does this mean? Well, they go through it and they explain it. There's videos. There's all sorts of like stuff on their website. It's super super helpful, and it's not just about selling product. It's about getting all that information out there to everybody and helping the racing community, which is why we support them.
Just starting with data is real hard. Like, you kind of need someone who, like, that's what I needed, was someone who like, hey, this is what you want to look at. And then once you get a hang for it, you start looking at stuff yourself. But like when you first get it, you're like, squiggly lines and some dots, what do I, or like predictive lap. Okay. Yeah. That one was better. But yeah, now you kind of like, compare 5 laps and you can see where you're consistent, and as you get used to it, it's really cool. So he has some good tips on that, like how to just, get started if you only have a little bit of time, what to look at first,
Yep. Yeah. We did that video or a one-on-one session and he just kind of like walked through and like, here's the low-hanging fruit. You can just see like, through this corner you're lifting and coasting before you go in it. And you definitely don't need to be doing that. And yeah, he could tell right away what I was doing, like simple mistakes I was making.
Yeah. For me, it's always the over braking straight to throttle, so that sharp V at the bottom where it should, taper down and then back, sharp V always, and it's like, yeah, you can't really go faster through that corner, but you're giving up all the brake zone kind of thing.
Right.
So
Nope. Super useful. So
Yeah.
apextrackcoach.com. Use the code 10tenths podcast. Or is it 10? No, 10 tenths. Just 10 tenths. I don't.
you
It's
need
one-
like a cheat sheet.
I do.
on all
I do
these.
need a cheat sheet because you got to. They're slightly different.
Just type every random version of 10 tenths in everybody. and
Or-
then one of
or-
them will work.
Go to the description of the show. That's where it's at.
Okay.
It's all saved there.
There we go. Cool.
Yep. I think that's a show because we did a proper show because a proper podcast lasts 2 hours.
Sweet. 2 hours. Wow. That went quick.
It really does.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
Right?
Really appreciate. Great to chat to you guys again. Hopefully,
It's been
get
great
to
talking
see
to you.
soon.
I missed chatting with you, James. It's been too long.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I know I chat to Robbie on text a bunch of times and stuff, but not nearly as much as I would like to. So
Yeah, it's always like random Instagram stuff, and then of course it's like we're both in the middle of something. It's like I get back to you, and it's like, oh, I'm back to this other thing, and then like get back to you, it's like this is not an effective conversation.
yeah, or like you're like, all right, kids asleep now. It's 8:00 at night. My time. I'll message Robbie, and it's your time, and you're wrapping up what you're doing and go to bed. So,
Yep, every time.
And then Adam, he's just crazy hours all the
Yeah,
time.
he's always working.
Yeah.
It's kind of slowed down here. I mean, like not hour wise, but like stupid hours. Like I'm not working like days and nights and days again.
That's
Yeah,
good.
don't jinx it, man. Those winter storms are just around the corner.
Well, no, it's just I mean, we've had some customer changes.
Okay.
I mean, I don't need to get into because nobody cares, but I don't know. There may be some more normal-ish hours on the verge of happening for me, which would be a pleasant change of pace.
That would
If
be
you
nice.
weren't taking 3 days off here for a grid life or whatever.
That's yeah. Well, unfortunately, the reality of that is that my stupid hours allow me to do that without being paid because I don't have any PTO left over. So a lot of this has been unpaid time off.
Yeah.
But my stupid hours allow me to be able to do that and still pay a mortgage. So
Man, that's dedication to the fans and the listeners, getting
Yeah.
those stories with Dalton on the track weekend.
risking
and then working
risking
the hours to
my
make up.
own safety.
Yep.
Yeah. With
yeah.
armed.
Armed rural Ohioans. You never know what you're going to find.
Plus, when you go to Grid Life,
So-
you're basically podcasting from sun up to sundown, doing the live stream. It's not stop work.
There's 4 hours at least of that, and then me running around between sessions trying to talk to people so that I have something to talk about for the next session. So
Dude, that's so cool that you guys do that, though. I think
No,
it
no,
really,
not you guys,
really
just
lifts
him.
the level on that stuff.
yeah, no, I definitely think like there were a lot of people that really missed it when we weren't able to do it at Heartland Park, and I don't know. Every time we have an event and then afterwards people come and they'll talk to me about it, on Facebook or Instagram, or they'll talk to me in person or whatever. And it makes me realize how important it is to some people, which is cool. But then I realize that man, I really need to take this seriously, cause there's a lot of people paying attention to this, and there's a lot of people who really, really enjoy it. And so, not that I don't take it seriously to begin with, but yeah, it's a deal for sure.
Yeah, you got to still have fun with it, though. Don't make it a
No,
second job.
it's definitely a ton of fun. I really thoroughly enjoy it. It's given me the opportunity to kind of thrust myself into the time attack scene without having to be a competitor, which
And,
I've enjoyed thoroughly.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars that go along with being a competitor too.
Well, I mean, it can be as expensive or as inexpensive as you want it to be, just like any other form of racing. So it just really depends on where you are okay with being in the line.
Yeah,
It's all expensive all the
quickly
time.
ratchets up after it becomes
there's-
established.
There's no such thing as cheap, pointy end racing. It doesn't matter where you're at.
Yeah.
These are the facts, and you cannot regulate that with rules.
Nope.
So it is what it is, but I don't know.
Yeah.
That's why just go race, have fun. Don't worry about the pointy end or whatever. Just go have fun.
Yep.
You know, especially for people just getting into it. Just go race and have fun. You know, just.
I think the slow march of development is still going to happen if you just like with club racing. If you pick a class that you want to compete in, regardless of whether it's wheel to wheel racing or time trials, time attack stuff, you pick a class you want to compete in and you build a car for that. And as things break, you improve them. As time marches on, you'll find things that you can change in the car, and it's just a matter of time before you've marched up to the point where you're talking about being a serious competitor in that class. But if you do it slowly and over time, you're not going to, burn bright and burn out real fast, which I think is kind of, especially for time attack, the hardest part. Mm-hmm. A lot of people, they'll come in, they'll get hooked, they'll go way too hard, way too fast, and then they'll burn out really fast. You'll never see them again. It's hard to find that balance. It's hard to be okay with not setting records every weekend for the first couple of years that you're competing in it, when the focus is purely on records to begin with. So yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, don't bankrupt your first season. There's so many races that do the first season and then they're done, they're out. But just focus on your performance. That's
race your race. Don't worry about the guys that are 10 places in front of you or whatever. Just do what you can do.
Yeah. There's a lot, just setting personal bests yourself every time that's real fun for me. I get kicks out of that every time. So yeah.
Any level of improvement is still just that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Improvement. So.
All right,
let's shut it down. I'm so tired.
Thanks for hanging in there, Adam.
Yep.
Thanks for coming on, James.
Yep. And we'll catch everybody else next week.